The following program is paid for by the Charlie Butler team.
Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show with the producer, Bobby Gates, who just put us on. Bobby, it's almost spring training time.
Very excited.
Bobby's a very good guy, but he's got one major flaw.
Yeah.
He's a Cubs fan. And
nothing wrong with that.
Not a thing wrong with that, Candace.
That's right.
And so how are your Cubs going to be?
Who knows? I mean, at the beginning of the season, we're going to be great, I'm sure. We're going to look great. We're going to feel great. And then we'll see how we feel by June.
Well, yeah.
We don't like to play in the cold.
You're
true.
usually for years, even when you were always in first place on June 1st.
Yeah.
And then something just seemed to happen after that. But, Cardinals are trying to rebuild, but Arenado, they're trying to move him, but they can't find a trade he likes because he's got a full no-trade clause.
They can just move him anywhere else. They can move him to the AL somewhere. I don't care.
Yeah.
Get him out of our division.
Anyway, and this is, I hadn't told you this. He knows where I'm going. This is, you remember WGBF FM Rockers?
Sure.
This is Bobby.
It's still around. Do you remember? It's still around. It's still 103 GBF.
Well, Claire's so young, she won't know who you are.
Claire does not remember Thong Thursdays at Fast
Oh,
Eddie's.
Lord.
This is
Bobby wore a thong?
Well, I was
No,
not there either.
but this
but
is-
I'm
you
old
remember
enough to
Bobby G?
it.
Of course I remember Bobby G. Is this the Bobby G?
This is the Bobby G. But you're just a little bit older than Bobby G was. So.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was Bobby G when I was 21, 22. That was 1996, 97.
Yeah.
When I started.
So we got Bobby G and we got Charlie B.
Claire, you were born what year?
97.
Okay.
Neat.
But yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I will be 28 next month.
Claire, I've had several female guests.
Well, who's this Claire you're talking to, Charlie?
Oh, I'm sorry. From Bosse Title. You were very rude interrupting me, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I knew the listeners were waiting with bated breath. Well, who's Claire, born in 97?
This is the very attractive Claire Kincaid from
Thank
Bosse
you.
Title.
And talented.
Hello.
And
Thank you.
extremely talented.
Thank you.
And one of our favorite closers, although you have several good closers there, but it's always great to see Claire's smiling face. But Claire, what I was going to tell you, there's a lot of women in their, say, 40s that come in here, and we've been doing this show like 8 years. Not you, I said other guests. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not insulting
just
you.
be careful.
Just nod.
I wish this was being
Yes.
televised right
He's
now
getting-
so
he's
the
getting
audience
to him.
could see
He's
Claire's
getting
face.
to a point.
I'm getting to a point here. Okay. And
Slowly.
they'll see Bobby, and one time, this is probably 6-7 years ago, we've done this for 8 years. Bobby had to leave the room to get something, and she said, "That's Bobby G." And I did not know Bobby G either. I said, "Yeah, it's Bobby's the producer." She said, "No, that's Bobby G." So
I can remember. I don't remember ever seeing him, but I didn't.
I missed
I got
out on a
pregnant at
lot.
21 years old. I didn't
Apparently.
go out a
do you
lot.
remember hearing him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I was on GBF for about 20 years. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. A lot of Thong Thursdays, Candace. A lot of
I know.
a lot of
I
events
know.
out there.
Well, and I remember that too. That's that I associate.
Oh,
that
good.
name with-
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't.
Let's move
go
on, though.
to-
Hey, maybe
I
let's
did
talk
have
about
some
real
friends
estate
that
or title or
Thank
something.
goodness.
Right?
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
Jeff, take the wheel here.
Okay. Let's
Steer
hear
us
it.
back on the road.
So straight from Thong Thursday now is
I went to, I'll tell you when I went to a Thong Thursday. I went to the boat with my grandmother and her best friend, and we ended up at Fast Eddie's. And Thong Thursday.
you've told me some of your grandma
with
stories.
my
So
grandma and her best friend.
What did your grandmother and her best friend think? Because my grandmother would have been appalled.
Well,
I think Grandma came in third place that night. Is that right?
Well, that's right. That's right. Yes. Yeah. Her best friend.
That was
second
Depend
place.
Thursdays.
Yeah. My grandma just could not believe that anybody wore underwear like that. She's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I still
know,
don't
Grandma.
understand it.
and now everybody's wondering who's here besides Charlie and Claire Kincaid, who we thought got killed in the car wreck many years ago. With
Law and Order.
On Law and Order.
No.
But also the equally lovely president of the Butler DeArmond Real Estate Network and the Charlie Butler team is Candace DeArmond. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Tri-State.
And next to her, we've already talked about Claire Kincaid. We'll get back to her in a second. And then also,
Everyone's favorite, Charlie's favorite.
we have the president of Bosse Title. Or are you president?
I am president.
You are. Okay. They're still letting you keep the title, huh?
I cling to what I can grasp, Charlie.
Okay. That's good. Cling to what you can.
I just made that up.
Not just a hat rack.
Not just a hat rack, Tri-State. Not just a hat rack.
That is Jeff Bosse. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning to you guys. Appreciate you having us on. It's a pleasure to be here.
Jeff asked at the end of last week's show, when him and Claire were here, about talking a little bit more about real estate, what the trends we see. And one of the things that in talking to lenders that we're seeing is while there is some increased traffic, even though they've lowered rates, the bond rates are still high.
Right.
And so
and isn't that what interest rate is based off of? Is that correct?
On 30-year mortgages are based off the 10-year bond.
Okay.
So it has stayed high. A lot of that's believed that Warren Buffett sold a lot of stock and has been buying. Warren Buffett now owns more 10-year bonds than the federal government does.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. He owns supposedly $350 billion
Wow.
in 10-year bonds.
Again, that's almost, Charlie Butler doesn't even have that much.
No. It's, that's way past me.
Yeah.
I think it's past you even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, Claire,
Yes.
so
Charlie?
what are you, as people come in, and I know you see it at the end of a transaction, but what are you seeing? I mean, what do you hear from people when they're talking about, the overall, how they felt about the market and things?
Well, especially in closings with Candace or anybody on your team, I always encounter clients who are well taken care of, who have a great understanding of the home that they're buying, of the neighborhood that they're buying in, and feel very confident and have a good understanding of what's going to happen at the closing before I see them. So that's a great experience for that I see in closings.
Now, the phrase I've heard, I don't know if you've heard this, and I don't know where I've heard it, but, talk about interest rates and this and that, because clearly interest rates are still higher, even though Charlie has alluded that they've dropped. And I don't track, maybe Claire does, I don't track what interest rates are.
No,
because again, by the time it gets to us, it's already a done deal.
Right.
But I heard someone say, date the rate, but marry the house.
That's
Yes.
exactly right. Mm-hmm.
That's good. And another one we use it on here a lot is people say, well, I'm having to pay, we'll just say 7% interest, okay?
Sure. Which is historically still great.
Right.
It's great.
My first house was 8.25%, and I thought I was
Yeah.
beating the system. I thought I was beating the system.
Mine was 8 1/8.
Yeah.
And Wayne Ellis was my realtor.
Sure.
And Wayne
Great guy, by the way.
Yeah. And Wayne comes Wayne tells me, because I was not from here, we just moved here.
You're from Southern Illinois?
Right.
Okay.
And so Wayne and I met Wayne at the jewelry store.
Sure.
And so Wayne comes in and we hit it off. And he said, I'll get you set up with a bank.
Who do you not hit it off with, Charlie? Have you ever met Candace? Has Charlie ever not met a stranger? Kind of like Wayne.
Charlie can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He really can talk to anybody. And it's very rare that Charlie dislikes someone. And if he dislikes them, I have to say they really are.
They must be bad.
They're not a person I want to be friends with either, because he likes a lot of people.
Yeah. My theory's always been, I trust you and I like you until you do something
Right.
to prove that I shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back. I took you off. I said, marry the house, date the rate. And you said you heard.
Yeah. And mine is, okay, say mine 8 1/8,
Sure.
which is not that high now. But you know what was my interest rate when I was renting? It's 100%.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's right. Because you're getting nothing in return.
You're getting nothing in return.
Not even the tax deduction off the interest you paid off your
Nope.
mortgage.
No. So you're going to pay.
No homestead exemption. No anything.
So, and the other one we always use, you're going to pay a mortgage, either yours
Or the
somebody
landlord.
else.
or the landlord's.
Yeah, that's right.
That's and it's your choice. And Dave Clark hates it when he's heard me say that, and it just makes him cringe and for those that don't know Dave, he's a large landlord.
Oh yeah, Dave is very well diversified. Actually, Dave's got his fingers everywhere. He had a good article in Evansville Living or Evansville Business. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think was Evansville. I can't remember which one it was.
It was a great article.
It was a good article, and of course, Dave did not brag on himself at all.
No, but I mean, but
I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm
I know.
kidding,
Dave,
Dave,
articles about him, so he had to talk about himself. But,
Right.
But Dave doesn't pay rent to anyone.
No, Dave's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff and I are. He's close. Jeff and I. He's one of our close friends, both.
Very savvy. He's very savvy.
But Candace, what? I caught her again. She's not paying any attention.
No, I am paying attention.
She's probably helping
I
some of
have
your clients.
I am helping a client that is.
Real estate never stops, folks. I'm telling you, real estate.
It does
doesn't.
not.
And I have told realtors this before. You know, title work is 90%, 95% Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And we'll do weekend closings. We'll do after-hour closings.
Absolutely.
No extra charge, anything like that. And people think, oh, I want to be a realtor. That seems like so much fun. I like houses. I have friends. I'm telling you what. I encourage. I mean, it's a great career, and you can do very, very well. But the job is not for the faint of heart and those who don't like to work hard.
Oh, that's exactly
It's
right.
all a work ethic thing. Yeah.
And there's people that will get into real estate and they'll say, oh, I get to make my own schedule. I want to look at pretty houses. I cringe when I hear both of those things.
Yep.
It's not quite like
we'll
selling
see-
Sunset, is it?
No, not at all. And you get to make your own hours, kind of, when your clients finish making your hours for you. I mean, there's time and time again, I might have plans that evening or plans that weekend, and a client calls and I can't tell, we want to see this house. And if you don't show them that house, they're either, if they don't know you very well, they're going to move on to someone else. And if they do know you, you don't want to put off them going into a house that they really want and it's selling before. If I say, no, not until, give me 3 days and we can have an appointment then, because it might be gone. And
I'm sure Claire will attest that we get emails from the Butler team and other real estate agents at all hours of the night.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
come in the morning,
Oh,
and there's a purchase
10
agreement that was sent 11 o'clock that
p.m.,
night
11
on
o'clock.
a Saturday.
Yeah,
because
when
I know
you guys are-
they just got done with your client.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can say, and we've got a lot of great people. In over 25 years that I've had a team, there's been a lot of great people. And Candace is now partnered for a long time. Candace is the best.
Well, thanks.
She's
Charlie.
great.
She really
Thank
is.
you.
And I will
That's
tell you, and I know
fantastic.
Claire will 100%
Claire?
attest. And Candace and Charlie are absolutely fantastic. Their jobs, and there's other realtors that are good too. Claire, is there a worse experience when we have a bad realtor?
No, there's nothing. Nothing like
Oh
it.
my! And there's not that many of them,
and
but
it's really for the people. Like you feel for, because I understand. Like I do closings every day.
understand the process.
I understand the
Yeah.
process. You feel bad for your client or your buyer, your seller that you're helping when the realtor is
Because you
rough,
know.
because you know.
Yeah.
Because you get to experience people like Charlie and Candace who are knowledgeable and wonderful and take the time and effort for their clients when somebody doesn't.
But Candace,
and not only do they
so
understand
good.
the house, they understand our process. They understand the appraiser process. They understand
Yeah.
the lender process.
Yeah.
When you have someone who's able to keep juggling those balls all up in the air,
Absolutely.
that's fantastic. But when they don't understand,
Yeah.
It's tough.
Candace is I was bragging on her earlier, but to get more detail on that, Candace is the best I've ever with customers. I mean, she goes the extra mile consistently. She really does.
And sometimes it wears me out whenever I do. That's what that text was about. It's-
No, I'm giving you a hard time.
I know it's a wear out. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a lot every single day, multiple times a day. I'm like,
and there occasionally, and I've this is something maybe Candace. This is one of Candace's weaknesses here. I will point out a weakness.
No, Charlie.
She sometimes should fire a client.
I should. I don't.
It's a
want 'em to
challenge
beat
for
me.
her, though.
I'm like, no, I'm gonna find them a house, and then they're gonna love me,
that's right.
or I'll sell their house and I'll change their mind. But
Yeah.
it doesn't always work that
Because
way.
didn't you say if you don't sell it,
If we don't sell it, we'll make you an offer on your house and have you an offer in 48 hours.
is that common?
Wow.
I don't hear other realtors really talking about that. Is that?
I mean, across the country, there's some, and the advertising.
Well, I think that's a
agency we
great
use-
service. I mean, that's something.
And you do it, and I'm right up front with people in the fact that if you list your house with us, we're probably going to get you just about what you wanted.
Well, sure.
But if we have to buy it, we're going to pay wholesale for it.
Sure.
It's 70.
How do you handle
80%.
folks that say, and I'm sure this doesn't happen, but let's say I have a house worth, maybe you would say it's worth $250,000. I, as the proud homeowner, think it's worth $325,000. Clearly out of place. How do you talk to your client?
Go ahead, Candace.
About that.
That's very common. I try and educate them by showing them comps of, that are very similar to their home area, size,
Probably house condition.
Sometimes people do not understand that their green carpet is outdated. They're like,
Maybe it's
that
coming
carpet,
back again.
We didn't even walk on that carpet that we've had in there for 25 years.
And that pink bathroom's in great shape.
It's great.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's great. Yeah.
And those avocado appliances, you can't beat them.
I think those are actually kind of cool.
Well,
I do
they are.
too.
They are kind of cool.
And they
in a very
actually
retro
work
way.
better than the new appliances.
Oh, they
new
do.
appliances do not work the same.
They're made better.
Yeah, they're made so much better. Yeah.
1970s refrigerators, you can't beat them.
Right. Oh, yeah. But it's hard to resell those. Hard to sell more refrigerators if the ones you last are lasting 50 years.
Yeah. Sorry, Candace. Go ahead.
That's okay. No, sometimes you can show everybody the data and they still will be like, no, I put this much into my house. And it's like, I'm sorry.
Right.
that's
What do you
not-
do?
And so, go ahead, Charlie.
No, I'm saying there's a lot. You'll even show them the pictures of
Yeah.
a neighbor's house that has just been completely
Yes.
redone.
Yes.
Looks marvelous, and theirs is really dated. They say, "Oh, we know those people. Our house is nicer."
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what, their house is nicer.
And there are, I usually tell them what I recommend. Sometimes people will say, well, I don't want to do that. I want to list it $50,000 higher than what you just told me. And I let them know, okay, we can try that.
Sure.
But if we don't get any traffic, or we do get traffic and we're not getting offers, something needs
Price
to
is the
give.
problem.
And yeah. So most of the time, that will kind of put things into perspective for people. Not always.
If a house needs updated, I know, Candace, I'm sure you're handy. I'm not sure how handy Charlie is. But let's say I'm going to sell my house.
We know contractors, put it that way.
Okay, well, and that's where I'm going with the question. Is like, all right, I'm going to sell my house. It's outdated because I really haven't updated it in 30 years. Does the homeowner typically doesn't have to do that work themselves? You will help them with that.
Well,
We'll
Or
direct
introducing
them
the
to
contractor.
people
Yeah.
that, we will direct them.
I'm sure you have a lot of
to people that-
contacts.
yes,
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're like anybody that does this or has done it a long time. We developed people that strictly pretty well use
Right.
us.
They'll,
And they
they'll-
take care of us.
They do.
because
They'll get
we-
out there and they'll.
Yeah.
If we if we have some, we've got a guy that'll go out and collect junk. If people have a bunch of junk or need stuff cleared out of,
And he's very
yards
reasonable.
or very reasonable.
Too reasonable, actually.
And right, yeah, he really is. I came to my house and cleaned out my garage and my backyard, and I was like, oh, whenever he told me what I owed him, I was like, no, I owe you more than that. That you are worth way more than that. But yeah, so we'll say, well, we can get this person over here, and that kind of that helps ease people. They don't feel like they're so overwhelmed doing it all themselves, because we are able to point them in the right direction. We can get this guy over here, and it's so that's kind of how.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say about Candace too that is that I really admire, the house for $79,900, which is not today, a house for $79,900,
Right, yeah.
Getting everybody, or the house for $500,000. She takes care of that client the same,
Sure.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
and we should. Well, we all do.
Absolutely.
And that's something on the Butler team we try to preach to everyone.
Absolutely.
Is that really don't pay. And Candace and I both feel this way. We never look at the commission.
No, I think
Never.
that it jinxes it if you look at the commission.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
I remember as Candace heard you
I know
say,
I loved you.
I was I had a $4.3 million apartment sale
Okay.
now, and I had both sides of it.
Very nice.
So I'm driving down the road one day, and it just human nature pops your mind.
Yeah.
Let's see, 4.3 times 6 is no, don't.
No, don't.
No.
Because then you lose track of the focus of your true focus.
You got to take care of your client.
Focus is your
Right.
client.
Yeah.
Take care of your client will take care of you.
Exactly.
Even if
Yeah.
it's a 79.9 house,
Yes.
A, you don't know who else that person knows.
Right.
B,
You're exactly
it could be
right.
part of a larger portfolio, and or C, that person, wins it big, whatever. They're going to remember you. They're
Yeah.
they're going to remember that.
Yeah.
I sold. There's a guy that I sold a house to 5 years ago or so, and it was like a $10,000 house.
Sure.
He was wanting to get into flipping. He has now bought multiple investment properties from me. He sold a very nice home with me that they owned in Newburgh, and then he bought another one in Rolling Hills.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, not Rolling Hills. What's the other golf course?
Oh,
Oak Meadow,
no, going to Boonville.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Not Victoria. Quail
Crossing. That's
Quail.
it.
Beautiful area.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Chris
So,
Combs
yeah.
has done a great job.
Oh
up there.
man.
And you'll get people that they'll say, no one would call us back, or whenever we called about this house, and I know what it is. It's agents that are like, I'm not going to get out and go show that, and it's,
And that's
And those are the closings that are the most rewarding.
Oh, absolutely.
The people who it's the smaller sale prices. Those people have worked really hard to be able to become a homeowner as a closing agent. And I'm sure as a real estate agent, it's very rewarding to be in that closing, to have a small part in that person's story to obtain that goal of becoming a homeowner. Those are the closings that make it all work.
Claire, you make a good point. I've sold right around 4,000 homes in my career. Now, and met a lot of great people. But the closing I remember more than any, there was a guy called me. I won't say his name, but he was looking at a house he was interested in a house. He just got it pre-approved. This is back several years ago.
Sure.
For $50,000.
Okay.
So he couldn't buy a lot of house, but he didn't. It was just him. So we found one over on Iowa
Right.
for $49,900.
Perfect.
Okay, so anyway, get the close, and he signed stuff, and he says, "Well, we do not." I said, "Well, here's your keys."
You've got a house.
And he grabs my arm, he looks me right now. He said, "Charlie, I got a house. I actually got a house."
Isn't that something?
It's incredible.
Now there is no other feeling like that.
There's
No.
not.
Yeah. Now those multi-million-dollar closings, hey, they're great. Money's long ago gone. I don't, it don't matter how, or somewhere, but stuff like that you remember.
You do.
And I know Candace has had, many people like that.
Yeah. I've had quite a few that it feels really good being there, whether I've made much money or I haven't. It's a good feeling to know
Yeah.
that I helped them, and
Yeah, you helped them.
they
We,
took a big
And they're
step.
always so appreciative.
so
excited.
Yeah,
And those are
yeah.
a lot of times the closing rooms, there's happy tears. Sometimes there's sad tears. Those are the best kind of happy tears that you'll see in a closing.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. But we always one of the things we try to teach our agents on the team is take care of your client. Don't ever lie to the client.
No.
Don't break the law, and have fun doing it.
Yep.
Because if you don't have fun doing it,
Those are rules for life, Charlie, not just for real estate.
yeah,
That's true.
that's true. But but for real estate,
Don't break the law, Claire.
Yes, sir. I'm the biggest rule follower you'll probably find.
Claire
so
actually is.
No problem there, Jeff.
but
Jeff, I'm mailing something, this bill. I used the stamp machine. Here's 62 cents.
yeah.
Claire, it's okay. You can run it through the postage meter. It's all right.
Hey, I have sent some through. I have. I owe you some 62 cents.
Be deducted from your next pay.
Oh, Claire is great. Jeff, you've got a lot of great people, though.
I really do. I'm very, very fortunate, blessed, whichever word you want to use. I really am. Bosse Title, we have 2 locations, one in Evansville, Newburgh, and then one in Tell City. And between the 2 locations, we have 20 employees.
That's great.
What I think is awesome about working at Bosse Title, we have everything in-house. We have, from the beginning of our order, we have our searchers in-house. We have our examiners in-house. So the people who are taking a look at that land, the search of the land, they're examining that. They're taking care of that commitment. And then we have our closing department that's devoted to coordinating the closing transaction. So it's awesome that we have all components.
Mm-hmm.
We are down to 3 minutes, guys. So, but you do, and you have an attorney also.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
we
Susan
do.
Vollmer, she's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes, she
really
is.
is.
She is. And so, who has something they just feel like they want to say right now? You know,
Can we go back to Bobby G and Kenneth and their love of the Cubs? Oh, come on.
I know.
And I used to live in Chicago. When I was a little kid, my dad was he was Northwestern Law School, so we lived in Chicago. But then his dad graduated, we moved to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I moved from Chicago to St. Louis, and that's where I saw the light, Charlie.
Shocker.
Absolutely.
Shocker, you're a Cardinals fan. Okay.
Yeah.
I am also a Cardinals fan. So
You know, and I have nothing against the Cardinals. Candace, maybe you can speak to this too. It's always been the Cardinals fans that are the problem.
I agree.
They always start something when there shouldn't be
Always.
something.
They pick on us
I mean,
for no reason.
I'm
I'm
just-
not going
I'm
to
just-
pick, but you're bad.
I have to say, in which town,
Was I sitting over here saying nothing at all?
I know, and look what happened.
And he
I
starts
know.
picking at
Attacked.
the scab.
And then we
if
got
I was a
attacked.
Major League Baseball player, I have to think there's no better city to live in than St. Louis. When you talk in terms of the fan base, the cost of living, real estate, it's tough.
It is such a rabid fan base.
It's a beautiful ballpark. I love going to watch games there.
Stunning.
It's
But it's
just
nothing
the
like
fans
Wrigley.
are
Come
fans are
on.
just
But Bobby,
they're instigators.
Would you say
can't
Cardinals
say-
fans are as bad as going to the NFL as Raider fan?
Well, I don't know because
I'm a
I
Raider fan,
haven't
too.
really had much
good God.
interaction with
I'm
Raiders
not a
fans.
I
fan.
mean, I avoid them.
I've got several Cardinals fans in my family, and it's
Me
like every
too.
time you see them, I'm just trying to say hi. What's going on? And they have to just say something.
or they say something about your ugly shirt you've got on. That's a
Yeah.
Cubs shirt.
Unfortunately, neither one of us had
know.
much postseason success.
I was going to say,
so-
I mean, neither one of us have a leg to stand on recently.
No,
right
not
now.
really.
recently.
Not
However,
lately.
you guys just were talking about St. Louis and Busch Stadium, and I think Wrigley is much nicer. I love Wrigley.
Oh, Wrigley is
The
beautiful.
energy-
It's iconic. It is iconic.
Yeah,
It
everybody
is.
should
It
visit
is.
it once. But
That's
still.
what made me a Cubs fan, is
Yeah.
going to a game at Wrigley. So, yeah, I was
So-
neutral until then.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got us all off.
And I-
Jeff Bosse, I own this.
It's a good way to kill a couple minutes there.
I actually, Candace brags about being a Cub fan. I have a picture of her
The picture.
that has been on Facebook many times with her with a Pujols shirt on, and she's covering her face.
The only reason I had that shirt on, and Bobby, you'll be able to understand where this came from. I was at a Cardinals game with my girlfriends, and we were going out afterward. It was a Cubs-Cardinals game, I believe. But it was in St. Louis. We were going out afterwards, and they would not go with me
Yeah.
while I was wearing a Cubs shirt. They were like, "You've got to get a Cardinals
Well,
shirt."
for your
or
own
something.
safety. And again, okay, maybe
Sure.
Cardinal fan can
Yeah.
be a bit.
It would have been a long night for you.
Right. They would have poured
Jeff-
beer on me and been just not nice.
The best thing that they say is St. Louis, of course, with the brewery there. It's
Sure.
St. Louis is a drinking town with a baseball problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we've killed 3 minutes right there.
There you
We
go.
sure have.
So, Jeff Bosse, Claire Kincaid, thanks for being here today.
Charlie,
for
Candace, thank
having
you so much for
us.
having us.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate you guys at work. Appreciate you guys outside of work. Thank you for the
Absolutely.
great service you guys provide. You really, really do.
And we appreciate you guys
We absolutely
sponsoring
do.
the Charlie Butler Show and everything you do for us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So Candace, what's your number? We got time for phone numbers or not? Sure, why not? Okay, Candace.
My cell phone number is 812-455-6338, and the team phone is 812-430-1708.
Claire, we've got all kinds of guys that listen to you. See, are you married?
Oh,
Nope.
my.
No.
Oh, Charlie, don't go there.
Claire, no, don't go there.
No, I mean,
Nope, I'm a single lady.
Oh, okay.
Don't go there right now. You go there 20 minutes ago, but don't go there right now. We're trying
Okay.
we're trying to wrap up.
Claire's single, okay? Well, just call Bobby. He'll give you her number.
and ladies, Charlie is not single. So
Yeah.
please stop sending him fan mail.
Jeff, what's the best way to reach Bossy Title?
Best way to reach us is go to bossytitle.com or call us 812-421-4000.
Or the Charlie Butler team, if we can't sell your home, we'll buy it, have you an offer within 48 hours. area code 812-499-7758. For Candace DeArmond, Claire Kincaid, Jeff Bosse, this is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
This program has been paid for by the Charlie Butler team. From the Kate Foppel Ford Studios, this is News Talk 1280 WGBF.